Francis Bacon was born in London, England, on January 22, 1561. His father, Sir Nicholas Bacon, was a fairly high-level Illuminatus and an extremely influential English politician. Francis Bacon eventually also became a very influential politician himself, but he is by far most remembered by history for his contributions to scientific philosophy. He formally established and popularized the inductive method, which came to be known as the Baconian method, or more commonly, the scientific method. While he is publicly remembered for establishing the scientific method, the Illuminati also privately remember him for his role in the establishment of Rosicrucianism. Bacon lived in an era during which it would have been unwise to openly profess an anti-Christian and atheistic belief system, so, like essentially all of the European Illuminati before him, he was ostensibly Christian, although quite openly anti-Catholic. Catholicism was recognized by the Illuminati to be by far the most destructive, authoritarian, and oppressive of the Christian faiths of that time. He advocated the systematic empirical investigation of all things in the natural world, but of course, as an Illuminatus, he recognized that there is only the natural world and that, strictly speaking, there is no separate supernatural existence at all. Francis Bacon was first inducted into the Illuminati in 1578, a year before the death of his father. He was elected Grand Master of the Illuminati 10 years later, upon the death of the previous Grand Master, Bernardino Telesio. One of the Illuminati's main goals before and during the time of Bacon was the acceleration of the erosion of the power of the Catholic Church, resulting from the 16th century Protestant Reformation. This was initiated by Martin Luther, John Calvin, and others. It should be noted that there were earlier attempts at reformation by such individuals as John Wycliffe and Jan Hus, which never gained significant traction. In order to give further impetus to the movement away from dogmatic religious faith in general, and from Catholicism in particular, the Illuminati, under the direction of Francis Bacon, anonymously published 3 manuscripts which marked the origin of Rosicrucianism, between 1607 and 1616. These manuscripts were 1. Fama Fraternitatis RC, the Fame of the Brotherhood of RC. 2. Confessio Fraternitatis, the Confession of the Brotherhood. 3. Chemische Hochzeit Christiani Rosenkreuz, the Chemical Wedding of Christian Rosenkreuz. Rosicrucianism is a mystical amalgamation of various sources of ancient wisdom including such mysticisms as Gnosticism and Hermeticism, combined with non-orthodox Christian ideas. It also promoted the very non-mystical view that empiricism and rationality are superior to inflexible dogma. Although Rosicrucianism was not specifically Protestant in nature, like the Protestant Reformation, it did act to spread ideas which were contrary to oppressive Catholic authority. The symbol used by Martin Luther, the Luther rose or Luther seal, to represent his own faith, and soon adopted by others to represent first the ideas behind the Protestant Reformation in general, and then more specifically to represent Lutheranism, was a combination of a cross, a red heart, and a white rose. The symbol of Rosicrucianism was essentially a variation of this, being a combination of a red rose and a cross, in a configuration very similar to that of the Luther seal. The very name of the fictional founder of Rosicrucianism, Christian Rosenkreuz, was intentionally created as a means to play upon this symbolism. This similarity in symbolism certainly did not go unnoticed by the people of the time, as they were very aware of the shifting attitudes towards the Catholic Church. At the time of its introduction, Rosicrucianism was presented as though it was a secret organization, already about 150 years old, which was based upon traditions and knowledge far older. This gave it an air of great mystery and provided an opportunity for the Illuminati to invite various individuals to attend secret Rosicrucian meetings, at which members of the Illuminati could survey the attendees in search of any who displayed the proper non-mystical mindset and other desirable qualities. It was often the case that, after becoming familiar with the mysticisms of Rosicrucianism, the naturally non-mystical would reject Rosicrucianism. This is when they would be contacted by a member of the Illuminati, about participation in a true anti-religious, reality-based secret society. This would be the beginning of their induction into the true Illuminati. The role of Rosicrucianism became diminished over time as speculative Freemasonry began to gain in popularity. The Illuminati abandoned its Rosicrucian activities, after Rosicrucianism had outlived its purpose. It is of note that there are still certain references to Rosicrucianism in Freemasonry, although these are essentially empty references used to contribute to the mystery of Freemasonry, rather than anything of greater significance. In addition to furthering the goals of the Illuminati, through his contributions to scientific philosophy, and his part in the creation and spread of Rosicrucianism, Francis Bacon also instituted policies designed to increase financial support for the operation of the Illuminati. He aggressively encouraged voluntary donations from the members. Such donations had always been an important source of funding for Illuminati operations, but they were rather irregular and unpredictable. As a result of Bacon's financial policies, they became a much more regular and dependable source of funds, from his time right until today. Bacon certainly led by example in this regard, as he donated significant funds himself, so much so that he spent much of his life in considerable debt. He considered it to be well worth it, however, due to the vitally important work of the Illuminati. He also initiated a policy of having the Illuminati set up businesses to be run by Illuminati members, and work to draw as much business as possible to them. A portion of their proceeds was then given directly to the funding of Illuminati activities and operations. This had the double benefit of providing a good living for the operators of the businesses, and for further increasing the availability of funds for Illuminati operations. It has always been paramount that such businesses be run with the highest standards of honesty and integrity. Francis Bacon died on April 9, 1626, of pneumonia. It is interesting to note that he had been experimenting with cold and freezing as a means for the preservation of food. Many hold that his death was a direct result of his never-ending quest for knowledge and the betterment of the human condition. Thank you for watching. Please help spread our message by liking and sharing this video, and by subscribing to our channel. Please also visit and register on our website, Scio-Illuminati.com. Support our revolution, and join us in the growing light of knowledge and liberty.